Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious. You can join us in broadening our minds on the Nameless Debates Discord via the link below and even feature here yourself, if you've got what it takes.
Insync,
Yeah,
do
what's
you
up?
believe that we create our what makes us angry, or do you think that anger is inherently instilled within us?
I think anger is part of a reaction mechanism to people violating your boundaries, as I already said to you.
I know, but I mean, is that inherent or is it instilled? Or I mean,
It's instinctive. It's
is it
instinct.
yeah, okay, instinctive?
Hmm.
Because I think that if you change your perception on things, then you can avoid getting angry, or not by
You can
avoid, I mean,
avoid becoming resentful or growing angry in your actions, right? But the idea that you could avoid being annoyed by the behavior of other people seems just ridiculous to me.
well, so let me take you for example, right? I mean, you, as you said, you're very impunctual, like you have bad punctuality, and
Correct.
you, and you don't ever like uh, say what you like. If you say that you're gonna talk in 10 minutes, you end up like it's like 30 minutes or something, and
Well, I don't know how long I'll be. It's not that I'm like,
yeah. But like, I mean, uh, uh, I, I, I found that irritating in the beginning, right?
uh
And I mean like the first like 10 or 15 seconds, but then quickly I would get over that and
yeah,
it would reside quickly. And that was only like in the first time
no,
that you
Rue.
started doing that.
No, Rue.
Like that's like
Here's the thing,
what?
dude. If you tell me that you don't like the fact that I'm never punctual with you, right? And then I don't adjust my behavior, and you tell me and I don't adjust my behavior, that annoyance becomes something that sort of festers, right? It's no longer just
Yeah.
something that rears its head when I do the thing. It's something that you think about, right? And you think
Hmm.
about how much it fucking annoys you, right?
Yeah.
That part
I
of
agree.
anger, resentment, right? I don't
Hmm.
think it's even true that animals don't experience that. I think we just don't have a way to test that they're resentful. And I'm sure we could actually devise an experiment that would demonstrate
Yeah.
it.
Oh, so do you think that we
I
as
agree.
humans are
Like the text that we were
unique?
reading from, remember, is before the theory of evolution.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we as humans are unique. That seems
What
ridiculous to me.
about what about reason? I mean, I don't think that
What
other animals can
animals
have
do
reason.
reason, they just don't reason recursively with language that we know of.
Interesting.
Of course, animals reason. How the fuck do you think they survive? What the hell?
I mean, like, if you have a wolf, right?
Okay.
You can't train that wolf or teach it in
Nigga,
a specific way.
chickens can do
What
math.
they can do math.
Yeah, dude, look up videos of it.
Dude, bees can do math. Bees have already been shown
Like ants
to be
have
able
really
to do like
complicated
basic arithmetic,
organization
right?
systems. I don't even understand this. Of course, animals reason. They just do it in different ways. They don't. They don't use discursive sentences to externalize their thoughts, as far as we know, right? That doesn't mean they're not reasoning.
Hmm.
Wait, I think pigeons can do math too.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they
a
can.
lot of fucking animals can do math. Like
Math's pretty
uh,
easy.
crows
Math
and
is just
I
basic.
think like crows and ravens can do
Dude,
complex problem solving as
animals
well
can
as
open
octopi.
doors and shit. They understand all sorts of stuff.
Hmm.
Sorry, yeah, like octopuses can
Oh yeah,
do.
octopuses are insanely
Yeah,
intelligent.
they're insanely and also crows, like specifically crows and ravens have like a really high level of intelligence.
Mhm.
But
Dolphins as well.
what's that?
Dolphins also have a really.
Dolphins as well. There is many animal species that can do complex problem solving and like recognize patterns, do
And
math, and do it.
also, like, there's no real reason to think that dolphins don't necessarily have the kind of conversations we do. Like, the way that dolphins communicate with each other, right, is something that we don't really understand properly, right? It could well be a language that we haven't learned to uh, translate. You know what
And
I
something
mean?
I want to point out is that even among we are just the latest line of sentient hominids. There have been other sentient hominids as well, and I think within our DNA there's like 3 distinct different species of Homo that we mixed with. Like I know there was like
Like
Neanderthals.
Neanderthals.
No
Yeah.
homo.
It was like a Devonian. I can't say it's like Devonians and like something else. But all
Wait, did
those were
they go
three
extinct?
different. These were 3 different distinct tool making, like that had their own social cultural norms, right? Like we know that like Neanderthals in these groups, they had burial rituals, they created tools, they lived in tribes and societies. Like we can like from we have archaeological records that
Yeah, we
demonstrate.
have lots of anthropological evidence about the way that chimps organize themselves as well.
Yeah, as well. So like it's kind of arrogant to assume that we were the only sentient species and that we will be the
Well, no, the
final
thing is
sentient
that
species of Earth
that's
as
the
well.
thing, right? We were talking about a text written a long time before the theory of evolution.
Sure. I'm just saying that like it's extreme hubris to kind of like assume that humans are
Well,
this like amazing special thing.
I understand what you're saying, but also it was a very common belief before the
No, I
theory.
agree. It's human exceptionality, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and but a lot of people still operate under like human
Yeah, no, I encounter it
exceptionalism.
sometimes. I've had people get mad at me because I told them that they were animals.
We just because we're a little
No,
bit
but the
more,
thing is,
we're like
think
we
about it.
might
The
be like a
definition of
half a step in
animals.
front of some other animals, but that's
I didn't
just
use it
barely.
in the pejorative sense, man. They were like,
But
talking
the,
about this kind of thing, and I was like,
but think about it. When
beings are just
animals,
animals as well, right?
when we developed the term animals, we kind of meant not us, but
No,
they
we
can
didn't.
move.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Well, I feel like in science,
Um.
right? In science, right? We do have a category called the animal
Animal is a
kingdom.
category. Animal is a category, and it
Yes,
includes human beings.
right.
Well.
Currently, in like the current definition, correct?
In the old definition, animal was a category, and human being was a different category. That was
Right,
incorrect.
right.
We can create incorrect categories. What's your point?
I'm just saying they're probably working along the lines of the previous category.
Yeah, but that's an incorrect category. The idea, yeah, of course they are. That's what I said when I said that it was written before the theory of evolution.
Well, like if you tell them, are they creatures, right? They would say yes. And basically,
Yeah.
and creatures is synonymous
Man was,
with our current. With
I mean,
it's
what was Plato's famous analysis of man? A bipedal, featherless, something.
chicken. Yes, yes, I remember that. Because yes,
That was
the same thing.
Diogenes.
The
No, it
same
wasn't.
thing that could describe a chicken.
It's a mockery made of something that Plato said.
Well, so why is it then that okay? So there was a short story written by Mark Twain, which I read a bit ago. It was a satire about how he was describing humans, and like of course he was like joking about that whole idea that humans are the most superior species. And what he was doing, he was saying, yeah, we are very very superior. We like we love to and he just like started naming off like human flaws, like how they encage other animals and also other humans, and all these different things. But it just got me thinking, what is, because I mean, we humans, we do cage other animals and domesticate other animals. So isn't that an indication of our differences towards other
It's an
animals?
indication of our perception that we're above them.
Mm.
Again, incorrect. We are not the only species to have actually
Um,
domesticated and farm other
Orbit,
animals. Actually,
Orbit,
ants do it. Are you aware
Orbit.
that
If you want,
ants? Sorry.
that's all good. Orbit, if you want to check out the link that I posted, Plato's definition was man is an upright, featherless biped with broad, flat nails. The thing about being a chicken was Diogenes' mockery of it, but it was close to something he said.
But the point is, really, like we are not. Once again, we're not the only species to have ever domesticated another animal and to farm another animal. Ants actually do the exact same thing. I don't know if you're aware. They farm a form of aphids, and they and they like pretty much milk them in the same way we milk cows. Are you aware of that?
You talking to
I
Vivi?
don't think I can hear anyone.
Are you talking to Vivi? Vivi left.
I thought it was Rue that was talking about domestication of animals.
He's gone as well.
But the point is, like, it's this whole thing. Oh, well, humans do this. No other animals does that. And I'm like, I think you just have a fundamental. You don't understand like animal biology well, and like the animal kingdom well. Like, you don't have much of an understanding of these kind of things if you're going to make those kind of claims.
Mhm.
Like, dude, I've got it in my backyard, dude. Like, my fucking passion fruit vine is covered in ants that farm another species. I can go out and take pictures of it right now. Like, it's not like some crazy thing. It happens everywhere across the world.
Yeah, well, both of the people you're talking to are gone.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand this human exceptionalism thing that like people still hold on
What do
to.
you mean? What do you mean you don't understand it?
I don't understand why
What?
everyone. I do. I guess I do, but everyone
Wouldn't
like
it
wants
be
to.
nice? Come on.
What?
The idea that humans are special. It's comforting.
Yeah, but if it's not true, it's
Well, they don't know that, dude. Like, what do
well.
you mean?
I mean, but that's the thing.
No, but I'm
The
explaining
information
the
that humans
appeal.
are special is
I'm
based
explaining.
on.
I'm explaining the appeal of the idea, not the way they
I
think.
understand the appeal of the idea, but I guess
Well, what do
like
you
to
mean you
me,
don't
thinking the most correct things possible is much more appealing.
Duh, but not everybody else shares your opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
I agree with you, obviously, but not
But then if I
everybody.
present them with, I'm like, okay, would you rather think things that are comfortable or would you rather think things that are correct?
I could say the same thing to you about your epistemology, huh?
Okay.
Huh?
There's a bit of a difference in scale when we're talking about like very easy, like demonstrated facts.
Maybe. I think
Come
you
on, dude.
exaggerate how difficult it would be.
No.
Okay. Maybe
Let's
I'm
not get into that. I already had an argument with Dark Master about it and it went nowhere.
maybe I'm exaggerating how easy it would be. Who knows?
I don't know. You've got nowhere so far, so.
I mean, that's not really because
What's that?
I mean that's somewhat contrived outcome on your part.
Contrived.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, maybe you're.
I mean, it is
What is
because
it?
of you that we have not got anywhere, not because of me.
Just because of me.
I mean, this is an argument I've had with a lot of people, and it's unique the kind of resistance you offer because you don't want to change.
Not because I don't want to, because I don't consider what you're doing necessary.
Yeah, but it actually really helps to make to make all of the things you think just a little bit more precise, which is really good.
You can say that. I don't see it as necessary. I don't like. It's like with metaphysics, right? Like
I didn't say
I don't much care about metaphysics.
I mean, epistemology is not like metaphysics.
Yeah, I
Epistemology,
know, but like your theory of truth is like too
I
tied to
mean,
metaphysics, dude.
epistemology is like a fucking scope on a sniper rifle. It's useless without it, dude.
What do you mean?
I mean, if you have a fucking sniper rifle trying to shoot someone at a kilometer away and you don't have a scope, it's fucking useless, even though it's a very powerful
Yeah,
weapon.
okay. I don't understand the analogy.
Epistemology allows you to focus properly on what you should be paying attention to.
Yeah, okay. What? Yeah, but how does that relate to what I said?
You said you don't think it matters. I said
No, I said I don't think metaphysics matters.
yeah, but I said that that's not like epistemology though. Epistemology
Yeah,
is important, and epistemology is the thing that I actually suggest you update, not the metaphysics bit.
I do think I update my epistemology all the time, though.
Yeah, but there's a couple of ways that you don't update it.
Are those areas relating to metaphysics?
They're areas relating to your comprehensibility for metaphysical ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's related to metaphysics.
No, it's not related. It's not related to metaphysical ideas directly. It's related to the way that you like perceive ideas that seem to you as nonsense because you don't have the tools to understand what the fuck's going on in the conversation, and that's the problem.
It's not. I mean, but I don't consider it. I don't necessarily. The point is, and you're gonna hate this because you know
Well,
what the
you can
response
say
is.
it's not useful, but it is
Yep,
not
it's not.
nonsense, right? And
What's
you
that?
think that it's not nonsense, and you basically say both things.
About like what kind of claims are we talking about here?
anything that you consider to be esoteric?
But that's like a value. Sure, that's a value judgment. I can do that. Like, it's
Yeah.
not an area I have a particular interest in pursuing. I don't like.
No, but again, you're treating it as if I'm talking about you pursuing an understanding of metaphysics. I'm not.
Yeah, oh, I'm not even talking about like like it's like a similar point. Like I was talking to once again, I was talking to Dark Master about this, and like, a person who has expressed a similar idea is actually ContraPoints, right? And she expressed a very similar idea about why she because she like why she quit academia and how masturbatory it becomes.
Oh, come on, Julius. You think what I do is
No, I don't think what you do is masturbatory. If I thought that, would I bother bringing any ideas to you? Would I bother bringing any questions to you at
No,
all?
but that's my point. Is that I'm the one who's offering the correction.
Yeah, the point is like I bring things I think are relevant to you, but I don't. I'm not as
And
like
I'm
what
bringing
you guys
something
talked
to
about
you
here.
that I think
I'm
is
not as
relevant.
interested in it, dude.
I'm
And
bringing
that's
something to you that I think is relevant, right?
Mhm.
And I
and
brought it
and
to you
so
repeatedly, and you rebuff it, and like you
yeah,
rebuff it essentially.
because the point is I don't bring things to you that I don't think you'll be interested in. That's what I don't do in sync. So I
But
bring
the thing
things that
Julius, you know, like sometimes whether or not you're interested in it is predicated on whether or not you give it a fair chance. Do you understand that?
I mean, but the point is, like, I can give it if I'm not interested in it. Like, if I've got no motivation to
No,
pursue a
but then
thing, like,
you just it's
I
something.
can't artificially create one.
You can. It's called the suspension of judgment, suspension of disbelief. All you do is you say, okay, someone that I trust recommended this, and so on the basis that I trust their opinion, right, I'm going to suspend my prior judgments about it, given that I don't know a lot about it, right, and I'll give it a go, right, and then I'll form an opinion about it.
One, I think I've done that more than you realize. Two,
Mm-hmm.
but I admit there are some things that I'm willing to suspend judgment on,
Yeah, and I think that's
and I
unreasonable.
think those are things that are touch metaphysics.
No, I think that's an unreasonable thing to do. It's special pleading, essentially.
Okay, I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
Like
Well,
I don't really want to, like, I don't feel it necessary to ground the laws of logic. I don't feel it necessary to
I never said
argue
you should. I
solipsism.
said you should understand, right, exactly what the line is between a correct way to say something and an incorrect way to say something. And at the moment, right, that part of your lens is actually missing.
In what sense? Like,
In
I
the
don't understand. Like, you
in
keep
the
saying
sense,
that, but it's not. You're not giving me something tangible.
it's easy, ready? In the sense that sometimes, and you'll remember, right, this is just from your experience, sometimes you say things that I object to, and when we get down to the bottom of it, right, you don't really understand my objection. It doesn't matter to you, right? But I think it should matter to you, and I think the only reason it doesn't matter to you, right, is because it doesn't matter to you. You're so convinced that it doesn't matter to you, right, that you never really give it a chance.
Yeah, That's not something I can tangibly wrestle with. I don't know how to really interpret that. There's like a fundamental miscommunication
Okay, you're a
where
little bit closed-minded. That's what I'm saying.
maybe I am, but the point is like the way I wrestle with ideas, the way you present ideas, I've struggled to wrestle with them sometimes. Like, I can't think in the same way.
But you can give me cases.
It's like I'm like if Nano exists, I don't know. I'm like on
Okay,
the
so look,
opposite end of the spectrum to
that's
Nano
fair. But
almost.
listen, like part of the process, right, is you tell me what isn't working for you and I fix it in my article. I'm a flexible speaker, man. You tell me what I'm saying that isn't working, I will adapt.
Yeah, I guess it's really hard to identify. I don't know, but at
And I
some
can
point
help.
when
I
you're
can help
talking,
with that.
I'm not passing the meaning of what you're saying, and
Okay,
that's a
so let me
consistent
know
problem.
immediately when that happens, and we'll talk about why.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I
Okay,
don't know till
I
the end
know.
of the
But
sentence.
the thing is, right? The problem is saying I don't know why. What I want you to do is instead of telling me that you don't know why when I ask why, right? Is you help me and I help you think about why it could be.
Um, no, nothing bad's happening. V, we're just talking. Um, Instinct's just shouty because he's in sync. He's not actually mad, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. You'd know because if we were actually mad, I would also be shouting, and then
Mhm.
Insync would get much louder. Um,
Back
I
to
don't
normal.
actually like one of the best examples of it is I ran into it with like DM the other day. I'm talking to him, and like
But DM
about
sucks. But
6
DM
words into the
sucks.
sentence, I'm just like, I can't
DM
track
sucks.
what you're saying.
DM sucks. DM sucks. DM's autistic. He doesn't know how to use words properly. He doesn't know how to use
Yeah,
language.
okay, I understand.
Why
But
are we saying this on recording?
Because it's true. He doesn't know how to speak properly and express himself
yeah,
in a way that other
he
people
doesn't know
understand.
he actually doesn't know that instinct.
Yeah, no, but that's true.
Yeah, it's one of the criticisms I keep trying to feed to him when he doesn't listen.
But think about that, right? Isn't that a fucking shit experience when you feed someone a criticism again and again?
I
and
mean,
they
I'm
don't
not as
understand?
actually concerned about it.
Oh, come on. It's irritating. You got to admit it.
It's mildly irritating, but I
And
kind
it's
of just
irritating because it would be for their best. It would be for their own good, right? In their best interest to listen, right? That's
but
why.
that's where I guess I'm probably not as a good person of you under this kind of context. Like, I'm not as concerned about
All
that.
you have to do is just be patient. That's literally all it is. It's like sometimes when people are talking about things I don't agree with, all I do is I say, okay, like I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a bit so I can like hear more than just what I object to, right? I want to hear a little more of the argument than just what makes me annoyed.
I
That's
guess
the
I'm just not as willing to invest my time the way that
Just
you
be a
are.
little more patient. It's not that big a deal.
I think I already am a lot more patient than I was.
Okay, so you think you're already working on your patience?
I think I'm more patient than I was.
I accept that. Are you still working on it?
Yeah, sure. Like, but I don't think I'm not sure I'll ever hit the ideal of patience that you're looking for.
Maybe not, but
And
as long as
some of
you're
them, it's because I am prejudging people. Like, I'll
But as
admit,
long
like,
as you're trying,
right. So
that's
like, I admit I've got a new tactic for dealing with Lamassive. If Lamassive enters the room and starts talking, I just leave the room at this point. I don't even listen to him.
it's probably a good tactic. But
Yeah,
you shouldn't
but do you
be.
know what happens? Now I know he knows what's going on because he's made comments about this. I've had them fed back with third parties. Because when I leave the room, if I'm participating in conversation and I leave the room, other people leave with me. So it's creating this kind of like social dynamic, which I know is annoying him, and I'm worried that's going to blow up. But I also don't know how to deal with it because I feel like what's occurring between us is unresolvable.
No, you're
I
fine
don't,
to avoid him. There's nothing wrong with you doing that.
yeah, sure, but it's still going to cause a social blow up at some point.
Maybe.
Like that's what my like reasoning suggests, is that at some point I'm going to be accused of being like social manipulative or subversive for doing this and trying to like influence everyone to like you know what I mean, all these kind of things, right? Even though I'm actually not even saying anything, like this is the first time we've even spoken about it. I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to leave the room.
Yeah. Again,
To avoid that, because my patience, I cannot extend that patience. I know I can't.
but that's a different thing. That's a different thing. He's intentionally a cunt to you, right? That's not
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
talking.
but the point is that
That
I
isn't what I'm
acknowledge.
talking about, right?
I understand, but that's an example of where, an extreme example of where I am prejudging a person because of such a consistent pattern throwing
No,
up.
and I understand that. And the massive's been a cunt to you a lot. And
Yeah, sure, but
while I would prefer if you were more patient with him, it's completely understandable that you're not, right?
yeah.
But like I said, talking more broadly about patience just with people who are saying things that don't make sense.
I think I have extended a lot more patience to people.
I
Like,
agree
I'm
with that
working
also.
with people a lot more.
I agree with that also.
Yeah, sure. But I think that, yeah, like, I am a bit more short tempered than you. I am a bit more harsh, I guess.
No, but like I get that, right? But what I'm looking for, right, is for you to just gain enough of an understanding of the part of epistemology that I'm talking about, not to think that the conversations are
Can
stupid
you give me
enough.
something to read on it?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe I can do
Sure.
that. Maybe like coming from a third party source of like something independent, or maybe you could point to someone else, right? So like something I do in arguments is I'll actually appeal to you, or I'll actually appeal to like an academic or someone that I know the other person that we both mutually respect, who's
Mhm,
who's clearly demonstrating that they're wrong or that I'm wrong, right? And
mhm.
if you're putting it on a third party, then you're breaking the confirmation bias between you and me.
Sure, I agree with that.
So that's that's another way around the problem, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
If you could find like something
Yeah,
that
no, I'll
at a
definitely,
reasonable level of reading
yeah,
that
I'll,
illustrates the problem.
I'll definitely have a look, man.
Cool. I don't know. There you go. That's about the best I can do, I guess.
That was good. I really appreciate that. I think Joshua, are you still here?
Is Joshua?
Yeah, I am.
What is it called?
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I've just been listening to this.
I think the recording's finished. Seems like it.
Yeah,
I actually had a really great time though. Great conversation.
I did too. It's
Glad.
God
Okay.
cannot exude anything that's false. Therefore, the law of identity and non-contradiction holds universally through the character and power of God. But if you don't accept the Christian God and the Christian worldview, you're going to have to tell me how it is the case that all entities always equal themselves. Why? Just because you imagine it? Why? Because you can't conceive of it being otherwise?
Well,
I was just going to say, here's an interesting for you. Did you know that on language learning forums on Reddit, there's like this weird phenomenon where some Muslims who learn English renounce their religion in connection with learning English.
Oh yes, that's I actually read into that. So it's like the language that you think in actually influences how you
Yep.
the thoughts you have.
And
A
if
lot
you
of
think
that
about
is
it, then
actually
if you think
worked
that
by so a lot of that's actually
What he said was appeal to popularity is not necessarily a logical fallacy, but that's
So that
basically the
means
same
it's not
thing.
a fallacy.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
not in all
That's-
conditions, but by
dude, I fucking
definition,
love
it is
the
a
song, man.
fallacy. It's called ad.
Come on, Cross.
Yes.
Why is
Appeal.
everyone so stupid except for me? God.
Dude, you do a really good cross. Oh my god! Can you believe